Hello, so today I have something different for you. I am going to talk about a recent arc, e-arc that I read, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But I want to talk about it because of how atmospheric it was. And it truly got me out of a slump I didn't recognize I was in until after I read and enjoyed this thriller. So the book I'm talking about is titled The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. Yes, Rachel Hawkins. And this is set to be released in January of 2024. So hopefully this comes to you at the right time if you are looking for a thriller. Now, I have read, I think 2 or 3 books from this author. I read The Wife Upstairs. I can't think of the other one. I'm currently reading The Villa. So I do like her thrillers. I do like her thrillers. One of the things I like about her thrillers is that she keeps them short. They're usually, around 300 pages. And I think that really it complements the pace of the stories because you're not sitting there wondering when is this going to end, It's a very quick, fast-paced read, the books that I have read from her. Now, some of them I've enjoyed more than others. I can't remember the name of the other book, but I think I liked The Wife Upstairs more than the other book that I can't remember. However, The Heiress, this one really hit the spot for me, okay? So The Heiress is about an aristocrat who passed away, but during her lifetime, she was known for her amount of wealth and the wealth that her family acquired, and also the fact that she was widowed 4 times. So that's atypical for any woman, but when you put the money on top of that, then it becomes even more like suspicious. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I don't typically write books that center around a setting that's essential to the story, because I write in contemporary fiction and it's usually romance or women's fiction. So the atmosphere is not as significant. But in this story, the atmosphere was so great that I wanted to share it with you guys because I really enjoyed this story. So first, I should point out that this story, well, let me give you like a log line first, okay, if you're curious. So I did write one down because, again, I like to practice writing log lines, and you should too if you are a writer. So the one I came up with is a little choppy. But what I came up with is a man returns to the estate his aristocratic grandmother left him to find it in disrepair, and maybe the secrets lurking behind the mansion doors are more murderous than fictitious. It's a bit on the lengthy side, so yeah, I need to work on that. But you get the drift, okay? You get the drift, and you can decide from there whether you want to pick up the book, right? Just that right there should get you it should pique your interest is the point. And so from there, this story is told it has, I believe, 3 POVs. The grandson, Camden, his wife, Jules, and then we hear from the deceased woman, Ruby, through her diary. Yes, through her diary. But this also has mixed media because it shows her old diary, but also there's emails between Camden and his brother or another family member. And there's some significant emails that we are shown in the story as well. So I like the mixed media and how the chapters were short, but also because it's told in 3 POVs, it shows the motivations of each person, and I think that was necessary to get the reader more interested in the story and to care more about the characters, because being that we are talking about wealthy people, I mean, that makes you want to just roll your eyes and not care, right? But the thing about Camden, so Camden is the guy who he thinks he is not like his family. You know, he wants to, well, he doesn't just want to, but he tries to distance himself from his wealthy family because he sees their ways and he's just not wanting to align himself with people who behave like his family. So, I mean, he hears the whispers about his family and he gets to a certain point where he just walks away. He's like, I want nothing to do with them. So he goes off to, I forget where, Tennessee or somewhere, because this is based in North Carolina, as far as where the family estate is. And he leaves to go to college, and from there he meets his wife, and they don't have kids, so it's just him and his wife. But then he gets a letter from his brother saying that he needs help with the estate. It looks like trash. They need to do big repairs on the estate, and he needs help. So Camden returns home to help out with the estate. And by estate, I mean it's like a big mansion of a home. It's not a regular house, obviously. It's a mansion. So there's that. So he returns home, and when he gets there, he unravels some secrets that he just was not expecting. I mean, he heard the whispers about his grandmother, but he wasn't quite sure what was true and what was not. And then he learned some things, okay? Not just about the grandmother, but about other people as well. And I must say, the twist, I did not see that coming, but it was crazy. So anyway, what I wanted to say is, if you are working on a thriller, I would definitely encourage you to read this one to show how it really anchors the reader into the atmosphere and setting. Because when I was reading it, I didn't read the author's note, but I immediately was thinking about the Biltmore House and the Vanderbilts. I think that's the name of that wealthy family from the 20th century that lived in the Biltmore House. I'll have to double check. But I think that's the name of the family who once owned that home, and they were extremely wealthy, but then things happened. So I don't know if she based it on, let me look it up. I don't know if she based it on them, or not based it, but it was inspired by that family when she wrote this story. Rachel Hawkins, the author. Let me see if she puts it, if she mentions it in her author's note or anywhere. Let's see. Does she have any? Okay, there's let's see, in the acknowledgments. Oh, okay, I guess because this is the arc, maybe she hasn't written the acknowledgments yet. So I'm not sure what her inspiration was, but I'm thinking it's that family, because they were the ones who owned the Biltmore House here in North Carolina, and I've never been to the Biltmore House, so I do need to correct that, okay? But yeah, when I read this story, that's what it reminded me of. And because Ruby, she definitely is a certain kind of woman. And I love the way Rachel Hawkins wrote Ruby. You immediately get who Ruby is. And matter of fact, there was a line in here that just, it made me laugh because it tells you everything you need to know about this woman. Let me see if I could find it. Oh, okay. So she said, he wasn't just handsome. She's talking about one of her husbands. I can't remember which one. But so she says, he wasn't just handsome. You see, handsome, I could have resisted. So many young men in my circle had those same good cheekbones, the chiseled jaw and straight nose, hair, the same burnished gold as an old coin. All of them could wear a suit well and hold a cocktail just so, and knew exactly how to light a woman's cigarette in a way that felt both chivalrous and the tiniest bit predatory. Ruby was that kind of woman who you definitely could tell the era that she lived in. And that's one thing I have to credit the author about, because she really, the way they talked, you could tell it was an older time. It's not today's time. Because some authors, they rely on name dropping to remind the readers that this is a certain time period. But I like when authors make the characters speak in a way that reflects the time period, instead of just relying on mentioning, pop culture items to say that this was the 70s or this was the 60s or, whatever. Like, I mean, just her saying, I feel like the chiseled cheekbones, I think that's what she said. Where did she, oh, now I lost my spot. Okay, here it is. She said some chiseled jaw. Okay. That and the burnished gold as an old coin. That definitely sounds old to me. So, yeah, I mean, she talked like a woman from that era, and she definitely spoke like a woman who lived her life in affluence, like she didn't speak like someone who just came upon wealth, you know what I mean? Like, she definitely was very spoiled. You get that from the way she talks about her former husbands. But yeah, I really enjoyed this story. But again, I would encourage you, if you're trying to write a thriller, not trying, but if you're writing a thriller and you need to know, like, you need examples of how to create atmosphere, strong atmosphere. I would highly suggest you read this book right here, The Heiress, because I think she did a great job with it. I haven't written a thriller, but yeah, if I did, I would want it to read like this. And so after reading this book, it just got me in such a mood that I didn't want to leave this vibe. So I just went down a rabbit hole of YouTube videos and whatever I could find on old Hollywood and aristocrats from the 20th century. And I was looking up witchy Gothic estates and homes and cottages and stuff like that. So I just went down such a rabbit hole. I mean, for a couple of weeks, I've just been, in that vibe. Like, this is a whole vibe with the Heiress. I mean, I think she did a really great job with this. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So again, I would highly recommend this. It's scheduled to come out in January. Like I said, I haven't heard of any changes to that date. So be on the lookout for The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. Anyway, that does it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing if you did like this video, and let me know, have you read any of Rachel Hawkins' thrillers, and what do you think of them? She's known she's becoming one of the Southern Gothic thriller queens, if that's a thing. Is that a thing? I just made that up, I think. But like, I mean, she is consistently churning out these thrillers, and they're pretty popular, She's had quite the reign for the past, I'd say, it sounds like maybe 5 years. Because I think she's been putting out a book every year, and yeah, she's doing pretty good. Year after year, people are always talking about her books. So I really liked this one. Like I said, the other two I didn't like as much. The Wife Upstairs, I hope I'm saying that correctly, but I think that's the title. I did like that one. It just wasn't all that memorable. And then the other one, let me see if I can even look it up. I don't know why I didn't think to look it up, but let's see. Rachel Hawkins books. Okay, so that's what it was called, The Reckless Girls. Okay, that one I didn't like all that much, but okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. So this would make the third one. Hmm, I didn't realize. Okay, I don't know if that's the same person. Let me look this up because it looks like she's written YA, and I didn't realize that was the same author. Oh, that is. Okay, I didn't know she. Is that. Wait. Yeah. Okay, apparently she writes YA as well. I didn't realize that was the same person. So, yes, The Reckless Girls was the other book, but that one, if I remember correctly, it had too many characters, and there was no one I could really latch on to establish any caring and concern about. So there was just too many people, and I could care less. So yeah, that one wasn't all that thrilling for me. But The Wife Upstairs, I remember liking it. Just again, it wasn't memorable. But The Heiress, that one hit the spot. That's perfection. Okay. And so I always say, if I love the book and I read it for free, I gotta buy it. So I plan to support the author and go spend that money. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna get out of here. All right, I'm talking too much. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.